Okay, I am recording this because nobody joined the room, but I feel like that they were waiting for the replay. So I'm still going to do talk about gut health in midlife and why it's so important, and record this so you can watch later. So anyway, my name's Kim Deckard. If we haven't met yet, I'm a holistic health and wellness coach. I help men and women from the ages of 40 to 70 plus to age better in the skin they're in, using natural methods. And so that's my passion. I was able to heal myself from migraine, from low energy, from brain fog, from constipation, kind of from a lot of things going on that was not serving me in my midlife health. So if I know I can feel better and heal through food, I'm passionate about helping others do the same thing. So I wanted to talk about gut health because this is so important. And what is our gut? So our gut is actually from our mouth, starts there and goes all the way to the other end. So that's our entire gut. And so we talk about gut health mainly like through the food and lifestyle that we have, um, affects our gut health. And so our gut, we're talking more about our small and large intestine, where the food we eat, the fuel we eat, starts getting broken down there. It actually starts in your mouth with saliva. You're breaking down the food, but anyway, it gets processed more in your gut, your stomach area. So I want to really focus on that. And our gut changes as we get older. So we have we've got a diverse microbiome, meaning we have a lot of good and bad bacteria, and we got trillions of bacteria. Okay, so there are tons of bacteria inside and outside of our body. So we want to maximize the good bacteria to keep us very healthy. And I want you to think about this. Think of your gut bacteria as your army. Your good gut bugs are protecting you. They protect your immune system. They keep you strong. They keep you healthy. You fight off outsiders, outside foreign virus, whatever is coming along. And so that's why it's important to feed your army the best foods possible, because when that army is strong and vibrant, you feel great, first of all, and then you're able to fight off all the outside things that are coming in to attack it. On the other hand, if you don't feed your army the best fuel possible, that's when disease, inflammation, just all sorts of things can go awry. Hormones become imbalanced. Hormones are chemical messengers that whatever the food we're eating, whatever fuel we're eating, our gut sends those chemical messengers out to the body to do what they're supposed to do. And if they're not doing what they're supposed to do, they're likely not getting what they need, the best fuel, in order to fulfill their duties. And that's where we get hormone imbalance. That's where things start to go awry. And I know, like, just one thing I can say is, like, when you look at your gut health, and if you're not eliminating every day, you're not releasing excess estrogen, which is really important. So otherwise you're holding on to that estrogen and can create estrogen dominance. So that's another story. That's another talk. So our gut is large and in charge of our health. And I want you to really think about that. Like, whatever's going on in your body, it's largely related to the state of your gut health. 90% of our immunity is in our gut. And there's a gut-brain axis. That means our gut and our brain and our gut talk to each other. And maybe you've heard this before. Our gut is our second brain. And a good example of that is if you ever get nervous or you get butterflies in your stomach, it's because your brain, you're thinking, you're nervous or excited about something, and it translates like you get those butterflies. So that's a good kind of an example to explain how the gut-brain axis works. And so like I said, our gut changes as we get older, and it's really important to keep it as healthy as possible. What they're finding is that our gut microbiome becomes less diverse, and the inflammatory gut bugs, the bad ones, kind of the inflammatory gut bugs, start to increase. So that leads to poor aging. It leads to frailty. It just is our kind of leads to a lesser physical, health. And so that's what we want to, right, why we really want to focus on gut health now, because whatever you're doing now, whatever you're feeding your body today will show in next week, next month, next year, 5 years, 10 years. You know, it's accumulative, and it will be show how you're treating yourself today, how you age. I hope that makes sense. So anyway, let's see. So I want to talk about some symptoms of. Well, I want to talk about leaky gut, because leaky gut, if you've heard of it, it basically is coined a phrase for intestinal permeability. So what that means is we have in our gut, we have tight junctures, like in our gut lining, and it allows, like, when our food is being digested, it allows the good nutrients to get out through that sieve. It's a tight junctures, get out through the sieve, and you know, feed our cells and our body, get in our bloodstream, feed our body what it needs, feed our blood cells. They take it to where they need to go. But with leaky gut, when you're eating foods that are inflammatory, it causes those tight junctures to get holes in them, like think of a screen, with a window screen with tight junctures, and then some holes get in there. Then the bigger chunks of food are getting out. They're not getting digested and processed properly like they need to be. And so then that's what causes problems. That's what causes leaky gut, irritable bowel syndrome, autoimmune disease. I mean, there's so many things that leaky gut is correlates to, you know, poor health. So it's really important. And I'm going to go fast through this because I want to get as much information as possible in a short amount of time. So that's what leaky gut is. If you haven't heard of it, that's basically what it is. So I want to talk about, and I talked about the gut-brain axis, but I want to talk about some simple steps you can do to help your gut to be as healthy as possible, and some things you can do, swap out, because we basically are surrounded by the standard American diet, the SAD diet, highly processed foods, and some other stuff I'll go into too. But here's some simple steps to help improve your gut microbiome. And I got notes here because I don't want to forget anything. But number one is eliminating refined sugars and starches and modern grains from your diet. And the reason, because those are refined sugars and refined flours, everything's been stripped. The good nutrients have been stripped from those, and from our modern grains as well. And I want to talk about glyphosate, which is in our wheat products. So glyphosate is a kind of an antibacterial property to keep the bugs off crops and stuff, but it gets into our gut, and that's one of the causes of leaky gut is glyphosate, because it's like killing our good bacteria in our gut. So that's one of the reasons glyphosate is a hot topic, because and anyway, there's a lot of research behind it, and then there's also GMOs, and GMOs, there needs to be more research on it, how they affect our bodies. And also the refined sugars, the refined flours basically turn into sugar, if that makes sense. They turn into sugar, they spike our blood sugar. So that's why these refined sugars, refined flours are not healthy for us. And so I would stay away from the wheat products as well, because that's gluten, which are causing, it's the gluten of today is not the gluten of yesterday. So if you will, because 96% of wheat crops have glyphosate. So keep that in mind. Some good swaps are couscous, brown rice, black rice. Black rice is super healthy. It takes longer to cook. It takes like 15 minutes to cook black rice, but it is so good. Very tasty. Steel cut oats, and then quinoa is really good. That's one of my grains of choice now. And the ancient grains, like amaranth, teff, fonio, probably didn't pronounce that right. And so keep those in mind, and swapping out, like, instead of regular white flour, almond flour, coconut flour, those are better alternatives. Number two, this is a big one. Seed oils / vegetable oils. We've grown up with these. These are highly inflammatory. They are high in omega-6s. They throw our omega-6 to omega-3 ratio off. Our omega-3s are very healthy fatty acids that we need, and especially in midlife, we need to make sure we maximize those. We need omega-6s as well, but the standard American diet estimates that people have a ratio of omega-3s to 6s 1 to 20, and you want to get that to 1 to 4 or less, 1 to 2, 1 to 1 even. So and those are, like I said, high in omega-6s, highly inflammatory, they're unstable, and I'm going to tell you the hateful 8, the top seed oils to avoid. So think of the 3 S's: soy, safflower, and sunflower oil, and the 3 C's: corn, canola, and cottonseed. Those are the 6, and then 2 more: rice bran oil and rapeseed oil. So you really want to avoid all those 8 oils because, like I said, they're very unstable. They've been highly processed oils, and the more they're used and cooked with, the more unstable they become. So if you're a home cook and you're using those, which I highly recommend you don't, throw them away after 1 use. You go to restaurants, they're known to reuse, they use these seed oils. I don't know any restaurant really, like the typical chains, none of them use extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, or coconut oil. They're using these seed oils because they're cheap. Those become more and more unstable with each frying. And, believe it or not, the most popular vegetable in America, you probably know this, is a French fry. Potatoes, because they're French fried. But they're French fried in these terrible oils. So I would never recommend eating those. So stay away from those. Do your own fries at home in an air fryer. And I roast, like I just last night, I made jicama fries. So good. So a good alternative for these oils: extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil. And I want to talk about MCT oil if you haven't heard of it. It's a medium chain triglyceride oil. It is a form of coconut oil. And I put this every day in my shakes because it's really good for your brain health. It goes right to the liver. It's processed as quick energy and clears your brain. It's good for your brain health too. So the brand I like is Bulletproof. The C8 is called Bulletproof Octane Oil, and it says C8 on it. That's the one you want. If you look at other MCT oils, you want C8. Just trust me, I won't worry you with the science, but that's like the best bioavailable. Okay, so look for that. Number 3, swap out your processed foods. Our processed foods in our country are so inflammatory because they got the refined sugars, refined flours, the seed oils. They also have preservatives, which preservatives are also like an antibacterial, and so that's anti-good gut bugs. So because they don't, when the antibiotics are used, they are no respecter of good and bad bacteria. They go after all the bacteria and wipe it all out. I'm going to talk about that too. But think about your high fiber foods, your vegetables you want soluble and insoluble fibers. Both fibers are excellent. Insoluble fiber is like more from the nuts and the skins of your veggies and fruits. Those they don't digest. They're a good form of fiber that they don't I don't count calories, but I wouldn't worry about the calories on those, and on any fiber or any food really, unless you're eating processed foods. You're eating the wrong foods in. But so what I'm trying to say is, like, insoluble fiber helps through the digestive system, helps bring the food through, the digested food through. So it's important to have insoluble fiber. Soluble fiber is water soluble, and it thickens up, and it also helps with your digestive system. So you want both fibers, and you get both of those in plant foods, in vegetables. And I was going to do a poll, and I was going to do a couple polls through this, but my first poll was, my question is, what do you think has the most impact on your gut health? A, protein; 2, veggies; 3, omega-3 fatty acids. So if you guessed B, veggies, you are correct. Vegetables have the most impact on our gut health. And my next poll question was going to be, how many different varieties of vegetables / plant foods should you eat a week? Diversity. How many different ones? And my poll was going to be 15, 20, 30. And think about that for a second. How many different veggies? And if you said 30, you're correct. That is the key to a diverse, healthy microbiome. So you get that a lot with fiber, and it's really important. It feeds our good gut bacteria. So eating high fiber foods, women should have at least 25 grams of fiber per day. And I would recommend you track that. 25 to 30. Shoot for 30. But if you get 25, that's good. So you can get and eliminating the breads, the pastas, the cereals, these are all man-made products. Go for these. Well, and Ezekiel bread is great. It's a sprouted bread. Dave's Killer bread is really good. The pastas that have you can get red lentil pasta, you can get chickpea pasta. Don't get the regular old flour pasta. And these other pastas taste delicious. I mean, they just have some flavor to them and really good. Or spiralized zucchini, you got spaghetti, zucchini, or dude, spaghetti squash. Oh my gosh, that's my favorite. Anyway, it's got such a nice little crunch to it, texture, and you're getting a veggie. So think about that. You want to eat the skins of your veggies and fruits to get those fibers. So polyphenols are from vegetables. So you want to make sure you're getting a high polyphenol count. They're high in antioxidants. They fight inflammation. And guess what? There's easy. I left mine upstairs. I have I have a big drink, and I have every day I have matcha green tea in it. And that is a big antioxidant food that you can eat that really helps with your gut health too. Others are garlic, onions, asparagus, your leafy greens. Coffee has high polyphenols in it, actually. You want to make sure you get coffee that is not, you want to get organic coffee, and because coffee has a tendency of a high mold, also high pesticide rate in coffee. One of the highest crops they use pesticides, herbicides. So you want to clean coffee. Dark chocolate, cacao, walnuts, also good for your brain health. Sweet potatoes, berries. Berries are your best friend. Blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, so good for you. High in antioxidants and help. And they're low glycemic. They won't spike your blood sugar. Liver is on the list, and I know a lot of people don't like liver. I actually, I think I like liver. And we were at a market, and they had three. This was in Philadelphia. They had three. I found this place that had salad. They were selling salads and making salads. And then they said you can pick 3 salads. So I'm like, oh, cool. And they had a liver salad, and I'm like, I don't think it was called that. It's called liver something. But anyway, I got liver, and I got chicken salad, and something else. Anyway, it was delicious. And I'm like, oh, I'm doing my liver good. So anyway, eating the liver does your liver good. And I said leafy greens. And yeah, so you want to really focus on those. Those are really good antioxidant foods. Get those polyphenols. Number 5, avoiding alcohol as much as possible. Alcohol is a toxin. Don't hate me on this one, but I'm just giving you the facts. Just the facts, ma'am. Women especially, we metabolize alcohol poorly as we get older, and metabolism is right as sugar. So, and if you look at calories, protein and carbs have 4 calories per gram. Fats have 9 calories per gram. Alcohol has 7 calories per gram. So you're getting a bunch of calories without any nutrition. It is disrupting your gut microbiome. And I recommend for the government recommendation is 2 to 3 drinks per week. My recommendation is only 1 a week, because I know what it does to your body, and it's really not your friend. So I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but you can do mocktails, right? You can do lemon with water, seltzer. There's other things you can do. Limiting antibiotics. I mean, sometimes we need an antibiotic that's life-saving, whatever. We need an antibiotic, but antibiotics are like napalm to your gut. So avoid them as much as possible. I had an ingrown toenail, just give you this example very quickly. And my doctor wanted to put me, he took care of it. And he said he wanted to put me on an antibiotic. And I'm like, um, I, is there an alternative? I don't want to take an antibiotic for this. This is dumb. I was thinking to myself. He said, oh, you can soak it for twice a day for 2 weeks. I said, I can do that. So that's what I did. I just soaked my toe for 2 days, and I think it was a CYA thing, right? Why he wanted to give me the antibiotic in the first place. So like, question, you don't need an antibiotic for ingrown toenail. I'm just saying. Okay, avoid all artificial sweeteners. Artificial sweeteners are fake food. Our gut does not know what to do with them. They've been known to cause weight gain. And I was doing a research on diet soda, and people who drink a daily diet soda have a 70% chance higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Diet soda is not your friend. And I heard another nutritionist say, she goes, if you're a grown woman drinking diet soda, like why? So anyway, like insinuates like a kid drink, but it's the sucralose has been shown to cause leukemia and blood cancers in mice in studies. So sucralose is Splenda. I had to break up with Splenda. I broke up with Splenda 4 years ago and have not missed it. I don't regret it. I feel amazing. And so don't be afraid to break up with your Splenda, with your aspartame, with your saccharin. I mean, look on the labels. If it says saccharin, sucralose, or aspartame in it, avoid it like the plague, because that is not serving you at all. It's inflammatory, and it's actually, artificial sweeteners are anti-aging. So seed oils are anti-aging. So when you think about that way, you're like, okay, maybe I don't want those. I don't want to ingest those. So this is kind of an overall, just a little primer on gut health, why it's so important, why we want to make sure that we take care of our gut in the best way possible, and eating anti-inflammatory foods. And I actually do a gut health program where it's 28 days to help you, kind of reset, get rid of the inflammation, reduce the inflammation, reduce IBS, whatever issues are going on, because it really is important to kind of get the stuff out of your body that's not serving it, replenishing with healthy whole food is the key. So if you want to age well, you want to age better, really take care of your gut. Diet, I don't want you to think of diet. Diet is a 4-letter word that diets don't work. It's focusing on a healthier lifestyle, controlling what we can control, because we live in a toxic world, and doing the best we can with what we have. And that's what I teach my clients. So anyway, I hope this is very helpful. Please let me know if you have any questions or comments. And I'm happy to talk about this again sometime. But again, thank you. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.